Drive. Phophalia, glad to see you are online now. I received my first inoculation for the COVID-19 virus on Wednesday afternoon. I was happy to have received the Pfizer vaccine due to its high efficacy in clinical trials, 95%, which has been matched or even exceed in real-life results. However, this date is based on the inoculation being done correctly, for example, the shot into the center of the deltoid muscle. I asked the healthcare worker if I could the shot in my right. I have intermittent tingling in my left arm since the flu shot 4 to 5 years ago, much less of a problem than in the past. I asked her if she wanted me to get into the passenger side of the car. I could have done so easily. She stated not necessary. That I could just rotate my body. I became a bit concerned when she expressed some problem with me getting my sleeve far enough up, so I moved it as far as I could and she gave me the shot. As I moved to the next checkpoint, I became concerned that the shot was not high enough on my arm. I asked the next person, who may or may have been a healthcare worker, if the shot was high in WOFH, and she said yes, and made a motion as if anywhere in the mid to upper arm was okay. After arriving home, I saw articles expressing concern regarding some people not receiving the shot correctly. Doctor sounds alarm on how to properly inject COVID-19 vaccine. www.newsnashnow.com/health/coronavirus/vaccine/ Doctor sounds alarm on how to properly inject COVID-19 vaccine/ why vaccines are injected in your upper arm muscle and not in your veins. www.abc.net.au/news/signs/2021-0108/COVID-19 vaccine injection upper arm muscle deltoid immune /130319118 The strength of muscle. First up, unlike the layer of fat just under our skin, muscle has an excellent blood supply to help disperse the vaccine, says Joanna Groom, an immunology researcher at the Walter and Eliza Hall Institute. Muscle contains and recruits immune cells called dendritic cells, which take up antigens quickly and stick them on their surface, like a flag. Dendritic cells then migrate to and slip into lymph nodes, which are like large meeting places for the immune system, Dr. Groom says. There, they encounter T cells and B cells, white blood cells that help defend our body against specific pathogens. A dendritic cell will present its flag to T and B cells until it finds those that recognize the antigen, then gives them the signal to multiply and, in the case of B cells, start manufacturing antibodies. In the case of COVID-19 vaccines, that amplification means they can block SARS-CoV-2 spike protein so that the virus can no longer get into a cell, Dr. Groom says. But they also start to form that pool of long-lived memory, which is really what we want from an outcome of a vaccine. Now, to the best of my knowledge, the healthcare practitioner, are they RNs? Did not squeeze my arm, raising a fat layer. As noted in photos, not a lot of fat on my arms. Should I have any concern regarding either receiving the stated efficacy of the vaccine or the safety of where the vaccine was given? If any doubt, for example, should be as effective versus will be as effective, is so, what should I do about it? If doubt, I would desire to wait the requisite time to have the first inoculation a second time. Thank you.
Welcome to Just Answer. Answers here are for education and information. I will respond shortly with an answer or further information request.
Thank you.
I do not think you should be concerned about your inoculation. This would be effective.
Based on the information I presented in articles regarding the site I was inoculated being more of a subcutaneous versus muscle site, and whether I cannot be certain she injected at a 90-degree angle given that I was turning my right shoulder in the driver's seat as opposed to getting out to the passenger side, which I offered to do, can I be guaranteed the inoculation will be just as effective? If so, why do you believe that? Thank you.
The site is secondary. If the needle reaches the muscle, obviously the length is good enough, the vaccine is effective.
Could you clarify a bit for me please regarding the meaning of the site is secondary and if the needle reaches the muscle and obviously the length is good enough? Thank you.
If the vaccine reaches any muscle via the inoculating needle, it would work. So it can be on any site of the deltoid muscle.
But that is the concern. My inoculation was not in the deltoid muscle, it was in my bicep/tricep area. Perhaps you can look and see whether bicep or tricep, which has less muscle and is sometimes the favored area for subcutaneous injections. The clinical trial effectiveness was based on injection into the deltoid muscle. Cannot be sure based on position whether 90-degree angle to penetrate the fat to the muscle sufficienty.
Even if has reached to triceps or biceps muscles, it would work.
That is good to know. Could you explain why and how I can be assured that the needle sufficiently penetrated the muscle given that this is a fattier area and I am unsure whether the angle of the inoculation was 90 degrees? Thank you. Would you say the area was bicep or tricep?
Very welcome. Unfortunately, there is no way to know whether it has reached muscle fibers or not, except the needle length. The best site for vaccination is this, termed safe triangle, https://pmj.bmj.com/early/2021/02/15/postgrad-mej2021-1398707/f1.large.jpg.
Reading unfortunately is not good. So can I be assured is effective or not? I have read where subcutaneous injections use a shorter needle. If I cannot be assured, I would rather have the initial shot again at a predetermined. Thank you. Predetermined interval. I have carefully isolated for a year and was hoping for that high level of efficacy to resume normal activity, including needed medical services.
I am sorry, but there is no way I can tell with certainty. The vaccinations are usually very experienced, so the chance of wrong administration is quite low.
This was administered wrong, so where does that leave me? You seem to be vacillating in your replies. Does this appear bicep or tricep to you? Can I be assured that with this vaccine the needle length is sufficient that it would not make a difference?
I am sorry. Let me know if you want me to opt out. Some other expert may help you better than me.
Could you please reply to last series of questions?
Yes, if the needle length is good, the vaccination is effective.
Okay, then why did you say earlier that no way I can tell with certainty? I was told they use the standard needle length for this type of vaccination, for example, intramuscular. If cannot be assured is effective, I would rather wait an interval and get first shot again.
I said that because I did not vaccinate you or witness the vaccination. Vaccinators are good. Needle length is right as you mentioned. Even if it has gone to muscle other than deltoid, this is likely to be effective. Online it is not easy to say. Only you and vaccinators can be certain that it has reached the muscle.
Vaccinators have the same information I gave you. I do see this https://howtodoinjections.com/howtodoinjections/intramuscular injections and biceps/. Do you know science behind getting the first shot a second time and interval to wait? Thanks. Was my injection site bicep or tricep?
Biceps.
Would you say my injection site was in this triangle? https://www.stlukes.org/health-library/discharge instructions giving yourself intramuscular injection upper arm. I do not have a lot of fat in my arms, but not sure I have a lot of muscle either. Let me add another photo.
I see you have 6 open questions for the same. What are the other experts saying?
Just one for this issue. I will send to you for observation. Some doctors raising alarm about this, but nurse did not elevate my skin like this. I do not have enough fat to do this. Perhaps she stretched the skin also. Hold on for other response. Appreciate your diligence here.
Your vaccination in all likelihood is efficacious.
I have sent other doctor reply. Waiting for it to appear. Jaw slow sometimes. He is due. Perhaps need to break up response due to length. Let me just give you link to his reply. Let me know if can read. Thanks. https://question/index/5297901EB8245-8F8FCDFA5FB0B25D. Continue the conversation equals false and coming from adserv email equals false and rated through email equals false and rating equals 0 and payment type equals unknown.
I mentioned the same as Dr. Stan has opined.
He was of greater assurance as did not quality his reply. Just to ensure, I just followed up regarding the angle of the injection. Here was his reply https://question/index/d2b4df8db747a286d9 4a6 at 79 continue the conversation equals false and coming from adserv email equals false and rated through email equals false and rating equals 0 and payment type equals unknown. That being said, you may not have intended to quality your reply, and we're saying is effective. Perhaps I did not give you as much information. Qualify. Poor typing.
Please be assured, your vaccination is right and effective.
Here was difference, only you and vaccinators can be certain that it has reached the muscle.
I also said, me your vaccination in all likelihood is efficacious. March 19, 2021, 6:21 p.m.
I wrote this prior to your last sentence. Right assured your vaccination is right and effective, but now you quality again is saying likelihood as opposed to is. Qualify again. One reply you say is, then next you say likelihood. Perhaps you do not mean qualifier.
Okay.
Which is it for you? Is effective. Or likely is effective. The other doctor was the former. Is effective as was the RN from my medical group. I guess I am a bit obsessive here.
It is effective.
Okay, thank you again.
Very welcome.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit justanswer.com/ythealth.